Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today. In this video, I'm going to start on the higher time frame and then move on to lower and lower time frames here. So we're going to start off on the 1 day time frame because soon we are potentially going to confirm this bullish divergence on the 1 day time frame, which is when you have lower lows in the Bitcoin price and higher lows in the RSI momentum indicator. Typically, when we confirm a bullish divergence, we get a break from all of this bearish price action that we have been seeing here recently, either in the form of some choppy sideways price action or potentially some bullish momentum again on this 1 day time frame. Personally, since we are currently in this downtrend, I am going to wait not only for this candle to close in the green, but tomorrow I want to see a closing green candle as well before I'm officially confirming this bullish divergence and basically confirming that I am expecting neutral or bullish momentum from here. Now, moving on to the 4-hour time frame, we actually have something similar as well, because this is what you could call a double bottom on the 4-hour time frame. But not only that, this is also a bullish divergence. Now, this isn't a regular bullish divergence here because this is actually what you call an exaggerated bullish divergence, where you have horizontal lows and higher lows in the RSI. This isn't a full-on bullish divergence where you're expecting to get a big push to the upside or potentially just some chop, but this is indicating that the bearish trend is weakening here, or at least it seems so for now until this potentially gets invalidated. Now, the point of invalidation for this exaggerated bullish divergence is 75K on the 4-hour time frame, or if we trade below this ascending trend line in the RSI. So far, if we take a look at the daily and the 4-hour time frame, this is pointing towards us potentially getting some bullish momentum soon. Now, if we zoom in even further to, for example, this 1-hour time frame, this is a little bit less clear in terms of what is really going on here. Basically, we're in a downtrend of a downtrend of a downtrend. Like there's just a lot going on. So potentially, if we break above this descending line of resistance, which is currently sitting at 78.7K, you could look for another move to the upside, although make sure to expect some resistance around this 80,000 US dollar level, because that's where we have these previous highs. And another thing is, of course, that the stock market has just been absolutely tanking, which is also putting a downwards pressuring effect on the Bitcoin price, similar to the Bitcoin ETFs, because if we take a look at the Bitcoin ETF flow tables, yesterday, we saw another massive outflow of over $300 million. So again, this is also having a downwards pressuring effect on the Bitcoin price at the moment. So in summary, 1-hour time frame is a little bit less clear. 4-hour time frame and 1 day time frame are looking somewhat bullish. They're showing some potential. And currently on this 30-minute time frame, we are simply in an uptrend. So this is pointing towards the upside, so long as we are not breaking this upwards trend here. And notice how we are getting to an interesting point here, because we have this ascending support and descending resistance. So we are going to see some action here soon, either to the upside or to the downside. That remains to be seen. And hopefully I've made it clear what my outlook is on these different time frames so far. Now, moving on to the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and yes, it is back, guys. Yesterday, for some reason, it wasn't working, so very glad that it is working today. Let's check back in. First of all, with this 3-day time frame. Earlier today, we took out a big pocket of liquidity sitting at around 78,000. We took out over $130 million worth of short positions there. And in terms of what liquidity is left here, there is some liquidity at 74K, and there's also liquidity at this 81,000 US dollar level. If we take a look at this, if we zoom in a little bit further, for example, onto this 24-hour time frame, you can see that there's a decent amount of liquidity around 76,000. So potentially the Bitcoin price could get attracted to this in the short term. However, if, for example, we zoom out all the way to the 3-month time frame, here you can see that we've taken out a bunch of liquidity to the downside already. And right now there is massive liquidity to the upside. You can see this even more clearly on the 1-year time frame. Yes, there is still liquidity, for example, as low as like 73, 72K. And yes, if we were to break down below that, guys, of course, there is also liquidity as low as 64K, but at the same time, we also have massive liquidity at 89,000 and 100,000 as well and there's even liquidity as high as 107K. So for now, yes, we are in a downtrend on the 1 day time frame. So technically, I am simply forced to be bearish here by Bitcoin. However, tomorrow we could confirm a bullish divergence in the Bitcoin price on this 1 day time frame, which should point towards either some choppy sideways or potentially bullish momentum coming soon for Bitcoin. And if we were to then break this downtrend, you will see me flip much more bullish on Bitcoin from there, because I would be expecting higher price action after that. Same thing on the 4-hour time frame. Yes, we're still in a downtrend, obviously, but this is showing some potential for the downtrend slowing down sometime soon here. I'm not going to recap everything once again. Hopefully I made everything clear, guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. But either way, this has been today's market update. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.